Effect and newly minted, soon-to-be Hall of Famer.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. All of you witnessed what I thought was a spectacular event tonight. Before we get started on that, I just wanted to thank everybody here from Indiana Sports Corp, everyone from Lucas Oil Stadium, my friend Patrick Talty, who was instrumental in us coming here. I want to thank Tyrese Halliburton for being instrumental in us coming here, and also Pat McAfee, who I will talk about some more in a moment. Everybody here in Indianapolis could not be better partners. I know I say that a lot, but this is just a spectacular partnership here. This truly was a takeover of the city. When you flew in, it's all you saw. When you landed, it's all you saw. When you were walking through the airports, there were places to make signs if you were coming to the event. Just WWE was everywhere in this city. You could feel it with the people walking around. You could feel it everywhere we went. So thank you to everybody here for being such gracious hosts and allowing us to come in and do what we do for you. Tonight was the highest grossing Rumble in history. But more than that, it was the third largest gate in WWE history, and for a single night event, it was the largest gate WWE has ever done. We had 70,347 people in attendance here tonight. Just incredible in every other way. The only event that has beaten this tonight is last year's WrestleMania 40. The Sunday night and the Saturday night, but other than that, this has beaten every record we ever had. We had people here from all 50 states and 48 countries from around the world. That's a lot of people coming into this city. So I hope we delivered back on that partnership that I spoke about earlier to this city and to the people here, and did the best we could for them. We also, while we were here tonight, the numbers are still coming in, but we already know we set records for merchandise, for sponsorship, and the early read on viewing, both domestically and internationally, is incredibly strong. So we're really, really excited about tonight. I mentioned him earlier, but let me talk about Pat McAfee for a second. Pat, I know in many ways this is Pat's city. As we went out to dinner the other night, it felt like Pat's city. Pat's an incredible part of this WWE family. He's a complete original. You know, from the moment I met him, one of the first things I ever said to Pat when he came to one of our shows was, he said, you got any advice on how I do this with you guys? And I said, just be you. And luckily he listened, because Pat is a very unique person who gives us just him every week. I feel like when I listen to him on air, it's like I just want to feel like he's a buddy that I just want to sit on the couch and watch WWE with. You know, it's comfortable, and he's a wonderful addition to what we do. So happy and so glad that he's here. Him being a part of the kickoff, being part of SmackDown, being part of the Rumble, having our talent on his show across ESPN, CM Punk, Stephanie McMahon, just everybody being a part of what we do. Pat is such an integral part of who we are as a brand now and what we do. I can't say enough good stuff about him, so thank you, Pat. Additionally, before we talk about the show, it's been a big week of announcements. We announced this week WWE Evolve will launch on Tubi on Wednesday, March 5th. That will be a show that I'm excited about. It in many ways, for me, seems like going back to the very beginning of NXT, when nobody knew who anybody was, and it was just a bunch of young kids trying to find their way to get in the business. And that's what we're going to go back to with that show. Evolve will showcase a lot of the talent off our WWE ID program, and it will feature talent that are training in the Performance Center now, where we have, roughly anywhere from 100, 120 talent training there at all times. Some of them are just getting started, and this is a way for them to to sort of cut their teeth and get that experience of live crowds and doing live television or doing television and really break in. And hopefully all of you will get to know them as they move up the line and, eventually down the line, make it to NXT, make it to Raw, to SmackDown, to WrestleMania, and become the stars of the future. We also announced somebody who I know fairly well is Stephanie's Places. It is with Omaha Productions, coming to ESPN Plus this spring. Steph is, for anybody that's ever met her, an incredibly insightful person interview-wise. She loves people and she loves to talk to them, and she's incredibly good at it, to the point where, as we've been taping these, majority of the people that I've seen after her do the interviews were like, dude, she made me cry. I never cry. So it's, having seen the early cuts, it's going to be an incredible show, so very excited about that. Let's talk about tonight, the Rumble, two incredible winners. Charlotte Flair coming back. I think the last time she was in a Rumble was 23. Coming back after the majority of the last couple of years off with injuries and issues with that. Coming back, making a statement here tonight. People say a lot of things about Charlotte Flair, which she is saying are all true. One thing you have to say is she is absolutely one of the greatest of all time, especially. And I say that one of the greatest of all times. I'm not talking about the women's division. I'm not talking about, any division in particular. I'm just saying one of the greatest of all time. She's exceptional in that ring, exceptional with what she does, puts her heart, body, and soul into this business, and it shows in what she does. So very excited for her to come back. And then Jey Uso, who's had a hell of a ride over the last few years, seen as, maybe an indistinguishable part of a tag team from his brother. People said that was all he was ever going to be. The bloodline showed us a different side of Jey Uso and Jimmy as well. But a time for him to step into his own light, and I think he showed that tonight. The men's Rumble, the women's Rumble as well, but was electric. That final closing moment between John and Jay was incredible. Cody KO was just two guys that honestly just don't really like each other and put themselves through hell, but was incredible. And Cody continues to prove his toughness and his durability and his, I think his versatility as WWE champion, and Kevin Owens continues over and over to show why he is one of the absolute best, not only of this generation, but ever to do this. Incredible talent. So my hat's off to both of them. Tag championship match was incredible. I think that division is heating up. When you start talking about DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, Street Profits, Garza's, Pretty Deadly. It's quite a group, and that tag team division is heating up. Can't wait to see what the next few months brings. A lot of surprises tonight. A lot of people making returns and having moments. But I think the thing that was on display most to me was not only how robust our locker room is right now and how big it is right now, but how bright the future is. When you saw that women's Rumble and you saw some of the names that were in there, Julia, Stephanie McGear, Roxanne Perez, Jada Parker, just Lash, that's the future, and that future is incredibly bright. So spectacular night, I thought, across the board. Incredible show. Talent all seem fairly healthy. Couple of question marks out there. Also, my hats off to our show. My hats off to I Show Speed. I sort of felt bad. Only sort of. I don't know I've ever seen a human being get hit that hard. But yeah, he's game. And my hat's off to him. I respect it. I don't know how many people, if I said there's a possibility that Braun Breaker might hit the ropes and just spear you in the middle of that ring, I don't know how many people would say, like, yeah, let's do it. And he has won, so my hat's off to him. I thought he loves the business, and he loves being around it, and I think he's great for it. So I know he wants to do some more things down the line, and we'll be happy to have him here. Before I open it up to questions, I just wanted to talk about one thing, and that is I was standing in the back listening to John Cena talk about his passion for this business, talk about how he sees the business, that he has always done what is right and best for business, and yes, John is one of the greatest performers to ever do this, but an even better person and businessman. And that's a rarity, to have all those gifts and attributes. It dawned on me tonight when he walked into gorilla position, before he walked out there, that it's the last time I'll see John at a Royal Rumble. He said it here tonight. I was back there trying to hold my emotions together as he talked about it. I was there when he very first started. I'm here when he's getting to the end, but now the clock is ticking. And each time we see John, it's one of the last times we see him in this ring. So for everybody that is out there watching, like, cherish this next year, this run that John Cena is doing. The last time we just checked a box of the last time John Cena is in a Royal Rumble. Cherish it. If he's in your town, he really truly means this. This is it's an opportunity, and I know he talked about the Elimination Chamber, but it's an opportunity for everybody to get together that has seen him over the years do what he does better than anybody else. And there's one more time that he will come, hopefully, to where you are, pass through town, and he would like to see you. He would like to be able to get in there, do what he does as a thank you to you for being a part of his career for all these years. And that's how he sees it, as a partnership with fans that supported him. And it's coming down to the wire and down to the end. But the one thing that I wanted to say about it is, because at the end of the day, it's my decision. John has absolutely 1,000% earned the right to call the shot. So if he wants to be in the Elimination Chamber, he does not need to qualify. He does not need to ask. He does not need to say anything more to me than what he said right before he walked out here, which is, I want to be in the Elimination Chamber. So he is going to now put everything he has into paying back for everybody that watched him by becoming champion one more time. Not for him, not because he needs it to seal his legacy, not because he needs it to prove who John Cena is, but because he wants to give it back to everybody that watched him for all these years. With that kind of motivation, I find it hard to believe that John will fail. So he will be at the Elimination Chamber in Toronto. Hopefully everybody will be there to enjoy that with him, and we will be onward. But just keep in mind that clock is ticking, one match at a time. So let's get to some questions.
Start off on the left-hand side, third row.
Hey, Paul, Daniel from Us Weekly here. You talk about your emotions. You've had a bit of time now to digest the Hall of Fame announcement. You and Stephanie both seemed very surprised by the whole thing.
Yeah.
In retrospect now, what can you tell us about how it all came together?
Well, we do these town halls, and it's to inform and make sure everybody's on the same page with our employees in the office and everything else. Nick and I had talked about the Hall of Fame many times, and he would always bring up the fact that, when are we going to put you in? And I would say, not now, because no matter how I do it, it looks like I'm putting myself in the Hall of Fame. And I'm just not going to do that. So he would say, well, we have to do it eventually. And I would say, okay, well, if we have to do it eventually, let's wait 3, 4, 5 years, and then we'll talk about it. He said, okay, we had an entirely different plan for Hall of Fame. And we got to the end of the town hall, and Sean's music hit. I thought, honestly, that being lazy, I didn't read the end of the town hall run sheet, and there was more after the Q&A that I just didn't see, and was thinking like, oh, Sean's going to come out here and talk about the new show we're doing, LFG, and put that over. So I was confused enough when Sean came out. When Taker came out, it doubled. And then I saw Nick walk to the other side of the room, and that's when that's the first time I realized, like, this is like somehow going to affect me. I wasn't sure positively, negatively, or humorously. I wasn't sure what was going to happen until Taker said WrestleMania. I'll be honest, we did it with DX. It was a lot of fun. It's different when it's you. And while I've been a part of all of these, and I've seen some talent see it as the biggest honor, I've seen other talent be like, whatever. But for the most part, our talent all see it as sort of the ultimate pay of respect to you and your career. And I've had the honor of calling a lot of people to tell them, we're going to induct you in the Hall of Fame, or be there in person to say to them, we're going to induct you into the Hall of Fame, and watch them cry and watch them get emotional because of our passion for what we do. It hit me way harder than I thought it would. So, when we left there, it was a kind of an oddly comical and surreal moment. And then Taker was there and Sean was there. And, we went straight upstairs and went into a meeting and everything else. And as it slowly started to dawn on me, I thought, like, holy shit, like, here we go. The same moment that I watched everybody else have, that emotions all flooding over you of your career, the people you've worked with, what it meant to you, the fans that you've met around the world, the moments that you've been able to create and share. Fortunately for me, I'm not like out of the business. I have the maybe almost more enjoyable point in my life of being able to watch all these guys do it now and help them get there and put it all together. But it was emotional, and I'm excited for it. I wish it wasn't at WrestleMania so I could focus on it more. It's one of the most meaningful things in my career, and to have it come from Sean, to have it come from Taker, the two guys in the business that I probably respect more than anybody, and to have that have been a setup from Nick, which on one hand, is mildly irritating, but because he fooled me. But in business, for me outside of the in-ring, there's nobody that I respect more, nobody, than him. He's my partner in all of this. So him doing that for me was incredibly meaningful.
Hey Paul, Reggie from Indie Sports Daily.
Reggie.
Hi. Last summer, you guys announced the partnership with Indiana Sports Corps, bringing Rumble, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania to Indianapolis. We're officially at the beginning of that being underway.
Yes.
This week was the first event. I have not seen a level of excitement from fans in this city with anything except maybe the Super Bowl, and this might have surpassed it. Indianapolis has done so much to get fans ready for the Royal Rumble. What stands out to you guys about how the first event has gone so far?
Well, you know what they say is like the Super Bowl is the WrestleMania of the NFL. I'm glad to hear that. Here's what I will say. What I said before, this has been spectacular. Our time here has been incredible. I have been to very few places that I've ever experienced the buzz that was in town here I got in Thursday, and it just was incredible. I can promise you this: if you are here, if this was the trip that you wanted to take, we have a few more events coming up, as you mentioned. We very rarely do anything where we don't surpass the last thing we did. This was an incredible event. I'm not sure how, but I promise you when we get here for the next one, it will be better than this one. And when we get here for WrestleMania, we will blow all this out of the water, right? You haven't seen anything yet. And that's the one thing that I keep trying to reinforce with everybody on these teams, whether it's backstage, whether it's crew, whether it's the talent, anybody else. We have spent 24 shattering records. We are shattering those records now in 25. We're just getting started. We're just getting started on Netflix. We're just getting started on USA. We're just getting started on all the shows we do. We're just getting started in the rest of the world, and we're just getting started here in Indianapolis. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Right side, front row.
Emily Bay, congratulations, incredible
Thank you, Emily.
evening. So I wanted to round back. We're heading towards Elimination Chamber next. Charlotte won tonight, Jey Uso won, and again, John Cena declared that he wants to be a part of Elimination Chamber and wants to compete as part of his farewell tour. So as the creative head, how are you looking towards this journey to the road to WrestleMania, and what are those ramifications from tonight?
I feel that like right now in this time frame, it's one of the things that has been done very well. Is impossible, I feel like, to call what's next. So I don't think there are a lot of people thinking Jey Uso was going to win tonight. I think there are some people that thought Charlotte Flair might come in and win this tonight, but I think there was a lot of, there are also a lot of people that could have won this tonight, and people would have been very happy with that win for wherever they took it. When you look at the women's now, that field is still deep. Io, Bianca, Bayley, we still have returns to come. We still have, after tonight, people that have arrived here. You've got dark horses like Trish or Nikki Bella or Alexa Bliss being back, right? That field is thick, and you can say, man, they could really pull the trigger on a lot of these things to get there. Look at the men's. Like just look at that last 10 people that were there, and that's taking people that were in the beginning out, but Roman, Seth, Punk. I know a lot of people don't like it, but Logan Paul. The amount of people that you can put out there now to say they could main event WrestleMania either against Cody Rhodes or against Gunther, that could main event on the other side against Rhea Ripley, against Tiffany Stratton, sorry. That field is so thick that I feel like this is a really special time. So when you get to the Elimination Chamber, really tough to call both sides of it. And that to me is exciting. I think sometimes predictable can be good, right? Sometimes something is going to happen, you're excited for it to happen, and it happens, and it's the best thing ever. Other times you really want to come into this with that, man, I'm not sure where they're going to go with it. And contrary to everybody going out there and saying, online or whatever, this is where they're going. I know, I talked to a dude to another dude that talked to a dude that said he knew this. I can tell you none of them know. None of them know. So it's exciting time, and I'm really, really, the momentum that we have right now, the Netflix, the Saturday night's main event, into the Rumble tonight, and today just put us on the road to WrestleMania, like when it usually right now starts to get exciting. That's an incredible feeling for everybody here. I think it's an incredible feeling for our staff, our crew, for the talent. I've never seen our talent as fired up as I do right now. So exciting time, and I can't wait to see where it all takes us.
And final question.
Hi, Hunter. Adam Bernard from Screen Rant. How are you?
Adam.
So you're a big numbers guy. Have you seen a statistical impact on WWE's engagement since getting major digital players like Cena'S and iShowSpeed involved?
Yeah, I think, look, it's something that has always been a huge part of WWE. I just think that the folks now that are the needle movers for eyeballs in the world have changed. You can make an argument that some movie stars, they don't move the needle, you know? Some musicians, like we have musicians come in and don't necessarily move the needle. Some do. You know, you start talking about like Travis Scott and Bunny and people like that just bring incredible eyeballs onto WWE. Bring in people like iShowSpeed or Kai, like they're incredibly popular outside of our world. A lot of their fans are our fans, but outside of our world, and being able to bring those people into what we do. What is unique to me about this time frame is there's nothing happening where we're going to people and saying like, hey, would you like to do this with us? We feel like it could be a good thing for us and for you. These are people that are just coming in as fans now. You know, it's almost to the point where when we go to Atlanta, there's so many musicians and artists and people that want to be a part of the show. So many comedians that come in, you know, as you saw in Texas a few weeks ago, so many, influencers off social media are just attaching to what we do. And it's great. Our talent, our fans are fans of theirs and vice versa. These are people that grew up watching, some of them, WWE, the Attitude Era, and now they just want to be a part of it. Or they grew up, for some of them, they're growing up right now and watching it in the moment. But we're in the place of a moment in time where we are just resonating across all forms of entertainment, and people are watching us. And that's not just here, that's globally. So it's very cool for us to have every place that we go to, people calling us and saying, hey, can I come by? Hey, can I be on the show? Hey, can I hit somebody with a chair? Hey, can I jump off top rope? Until they get here and realize they don't want to. Not very many of them are saying, hey, can I get speared by Braun Breaker? Let me just say that. And I don't think anybody will be asking for that in the future. But it's an incredible time. And yes, definitely, it helps our engagement as it helps theirs, right? I think I just heard a little bit ago that, Speed was streaming live. He had like a few million people watch that in like a very, very short period of time, right? So the numbers are incredible for him, for us. He's an incredible talent. You see what he's doing around the world, and he has a massive following. We have a massive following. You put that together, it's incredible momentum. So for everybody. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you all for being here tonight.